Cryptanalysis is used to defeat cryptography and access the contents of encrypted messages, even if the key is unknown. The easiest way of breaking a symmetric cipher is to perform an exhaustive key search, also known as a brute force attack. If you set the first possible key as 000000 and the last possible key as 999999, then starting at the beginning, you'll decrypt the message and see if anything intelligible results. If it doesn't work, then try 00001, and so on. That is why it is vital that the key length of a symmetric cipher is very large. The length of a key gives rise to what is known as the key space. DES has a key space of 2 to the power of 56. Whilst this is a very large number, recent advances in cryptanalysis and computing power has meant that DES can be broken in hours, if not minutes. This is why AES, with its longer key lengths, is now recommended. There are other means by which symmetric ciphers can be attacked, but these generally involve around finding a mathematical weakness in the cipher. Hence, the algorithms do need to be computationally complex and not trivial. Before AES was published as a standard, it was comprehensively reviewed by governments, academia, and other interested parties. One other factor to consider is what is known as cover time. Not all information needs to be kept secret forever. Some information becomes less valuable over time. The cover time is therefore the time that an item of information needs to be kept secret. If you need to make sure a message is kept secret for a few days, then why would you need to use AES 256 when that would give the information cover for a very, very long time? AES 128 would probably be sufficient. Finally, let us cover policies. Most organizations using cryptography will have policies to dictate various aspects of its use. These include key generation, distribution, and handling. Policies need to be formulated on how keys are generated, how they are distributed, and how they are handled. As an example, if an organization has their own CA, how is the trusted certificate provided to the users? If you manually distribute secret keys, you'll also need to define a key handling policy and ensure you have sufficient controls to protect the keys in transit. Information protection. You'll need policies on how cryptography is used throughout the organization. For instance, should all laptops use disk encryption? Should all internal web servers use TLS to protect communications? Approved algorithms. You'll need to define the ciphers and algorithms used along with the key lengths. You may need to have different cipher suites for different types of data. For instance, you might suggest using AES 128 and SHA-1 for certain types of data, but for very sensitive information, you would use AES 256 and SHA-512. And then you have export control. Cryptography is actually export controlled. However, some countries also have import controls. A few countries also prohibit the use of cryptography unless approved by the government. If you work for a multinational organization, be careful about where you use cryptography. Many countries are signatories to the VASNA arrangement that defines what goods are export controlled. So now let us go on to an exercise. The next slide contains details of an exercise you should complete. Once the exercise has been explained, the slide presentation will stop. This will give you some time to undertake the exercise before proceeding. The following slide will then provide a model answer we have prepared for you. The MICT board seems to be convinced that because patients are using TLS to gain access to the appointments applications, that they are digitally assigning their appointments. Please prepare a presentation to the board that explains why this is not true and what TLS provides. Take 20 minutes to complete this exercise. As this is to the MICT Board of Directors, you'll need to make it simple. Cover the following points. For patients to digitally sign their appointments, we would have to provide them with a private key. This is not something that MICT has issued. All patients possess is their username and password, which they use to log into the appointment system. These cannot be used to digitally sign anything. MICT is using TLS to protect the connection from the patient's web browser to the MICT web server. However, TLS does not provide a digital signature capability. TLS provides confidentiality, integrity, and authentication services. The way MICT is using TLS means that patients know they are accessing the MICT's web server, since TLS provides server authentication. There are many books on cryptography. If you want to delve deeper into this subject, we recommend this book. It was published in 2012 and is very comprehensive. This is the end of the topic, so please proceed and take the topics quiz.